Hi, I'm Ross Gerber.
I'm Gerber Kawasaki.
And welcome to Think Tank. Our show is a competition among our top advisors to give you insight into our investment process. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing social media companies. For me, it started when I first found a social media site called MySpace back in around 2000. And from there, MySpace grew to a huge company, and then obviously it failed. And then the rise of Facebook came. And when Facebook began to grow on the college campuses, I realized that this phenomenon of connecting people had tremendous potential. But social media has gone so much further than Facebook now, with the adoption of photo sharing sites like Instagram, news sharing like Twitter, and all the offshoots now into so many different industries and businesses.
I'm excited to see what people from Snapchat and the Match Group have to say. Those are maybe less known social media sites. Everyone kind of knows about Facebook and Twitter. YouTube is, I think it's exciting. They have great potential as well. So
absolutely.
I'm excited for our show. So here's our love team, Eric, Francine, and Nick, to talk about Match Group.
Online dating is a $2.2 billion industry. It's expected to grow at over $100 million per year in just the next few years. Match Group, they're the largest player in this space.
So where is Match making their money?
Tinder and Plenty of Fish are their top two platforms, and every site charges a different subscription. So, for example, Tinder, you pay $10 a month. Once you get over 30 years old, you actually have to pay $20 per month. And then they also derive some of their revenue through ads, which is what they're trying to focus on.
So is Tinder the fastest growing platform they have?
It's definitely the hottest app, one of the hottest apps in the App Store.
Do you guys have user numbers and things like that?
Yeah, so Match Group has 59 million monthly active users. 4.7 of those are paying members, so they have a lot of room to grow, and they are a profitable company. They've grown their revenues 11% year over year.
Are you guys on Tinder?
I personally have a girlfriend now.
So when you delete your account?
Did
you delete your account?
I did delete my account.
Wow.
But that's the beauty of it.
But were you guys paying for this premium service or?
I have not paid for it, but that's the beauty of this, is that how long do relationships last?
It depends. In your generation,
Not
like
long.
a week.
Not long.
I mean, like
So
you
you
even
have
have a relationship.
Revolving clientele coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, Tinder alone has over 10 million daily active users.
Wow.
Right? On average, people spend about 90 minutes on this app. So
90 minutes?
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
26 million matches are created every day.
So essentially, they're just at the beginning of monetization because they could just limit your swipes, and what are you going to do? You're going to have to pay, right?
Absolutely.
I'll pay $5 more, 5 more swipes. Maybe I'll get lucky. I don't know. Thank you guys very much. I think that was a fairly convincing argument, even though I see some problems with this one. But thank you.
Thank you. So here's our Triple B team, Brian, Ben, and Bainter. And you guys are here to talk about Snapchat.
So Snapchat is a privately held company that's only available on mobile. Its users send and receive texts, pictures, and videos, but it's much more than that.
I thought it was all about these disappearing pictures.
Yeah, it's not. At the end of the day, that's where it started. But the point is, where is Snapchat going?
How does Snapchat make money? Because what I've read is that they're losing tons of money. And how much money have they raised?
They've raised over $1 billion. Honestly, that was one of the biggest knocks for us is their current valuation, which is $16 billion. Last year, well, give us a second here, because last year they generated $50 million in revenue. They're really,
how much?
$50 million.
$50 million. So why would somebody who sends disappearing pictures of their genitalia want anything to do with live stories or news?
Last year, they created a live story section, 21 publishing partners, CNN, ESPN, Wall Street Journal, to name a few.
I have to say, I'm on Snapchat. I never sent a picture or received
You're
pictures.
on Snapchat?
I am on Snapchat. I'm on Snapchat because of the way they curate content and how cool it is to see the news. And they have a lot of videos, and a lot of their videos take the whole screen versus just a little bit.
Yeah.
Essentially, we have this very quickly curated news to what I want to watch. I do love reading the Wall Street Journal, as much of a nerd I am, but a typical friend just wants to look at quick little articles, see what's going on in the world, and be done. And when you can put in videos, small articles, it is very, very attractive, and people are going to want to watch that, and they do watch it
So
because
Snapchat is essentially like a news organization, is what you're telling me.
Exactly. They're
Well,
really
it's
trying to
both.
become a mass media juggernaut.
All right, thank you very much, guys. That was pretty good, but not really. So you didn't really convince me about the valuation. It looks interesting. I'm going to go check out some live stories, and we'll see how the other groups do.
Facebook, we have Ayao, Elijah, and Matt. Let's get going.
So Facebook really is the king of all social media, and it has some of the most valuable properties with Facebook itself, obviously, Instagram, WhatsApp, and now adding Oculus to its entire list of products.
So Facebook currently has over 1.6 billion monthly active users. WhatsApp has over 1 billion, and then Instagram has over 400 million active users. So Facebook is clearly more than just an app on your phone.
And the international growth opportunity for Facebook is huge. Between China and India, there's over 2 billion potential new users that can come on Facebook's platform.
I kind of feel that Facebook and Instagram is sort of like the older platform now. It's kind of like where the old people post pictures of their babies now, and really what's cool and new isn't really a Facebook platform.
What do you think their plan for monetizing WhatsApp is?
We believe it'll be more advertising similar to what they did with Instagram.
So they just cut the user fees from WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is a free service essentially, so they'll have to run ads to make money. And my issue with them is like engagement then drops off.
As Matt mentioned earlier, Facebook is really your online ID.
That's true, and I think Facebook has become like your online ID, and it wouldn't surprise me if soon we're voting through Facebook, which would make a lot of sense. So I think we've heard enough about Facebook. Thank you guys for giving us the information. And
Okay, we have our Google team, Malcolm, Wendy, Robert. Welcome. Let's get started.
Thanks. So we have Google. They have a market cap of $518 billion, but for the purposes of social media, we'll be focusing on YouTube.
YouTube is literally everywhere. For some celebrities, YouTube is everything. I mean, just look at Justin Bieber. Would any of you really know who he is if it wasn't for YouTube?
Who is Justin Bieber?
Right. Only Canadians would know about him if YouTube didn't exist. But YouTube is a lot more than covers of songs. Just in the last 2 years, their users have gone up from 40% year over year. The amount of time that they're spending on YouTube has gone up by 60% year over year. Their reach is expanding, and that's why they've developed their newest venture, which is YouTube Red.
Yeah, YouTube Red is a monthly subscription service that costs $9.99 a month. Some people say that this is, one of the best packages for the music lovers out there in the world.
Who says that? Because the feedback I got was that this YouTube Red is a disaster.
Well, the numbers haven't came out yet because it only started this past October, so it's still fairly
so they can't
new.
count from October till March numbers?
It's not many. It can't be many.
We have this saying that if they're not announcing user numbers, it's for a reason. So if YouTube was a standalone company, let's say YouTube's just its own company, and it's earning its own revenue and it's losing money, let's say. Is this something that we would want to look at?
Right now, 80% of views come from outside of the US, so if YouTube Red really takes off, it's going to have a huge impact for Google. Not only that, they're not in China
I don't think
right
people are
now.
going to pay for YouTube. They're used to not paying for YouTube.
I think
and people don't like to pay for
I think
stuff
people are
they
going to
didn't pay
ask for this. I mean, a 9-year-old girl who watches it every day, why wouldn't she want
Because
to
their dad's going to say no. Well, I think it's a good presentation. I think it's a good company and it has a lot of potential. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So here's our Twitter team, Hatem and Caitlin. Let's get started.
Twitter basically is a platform that you go to for anything that is live. Not a lot of love for Twitter these days from Wall Street and from pretty much every analyst, but it is one of my favorites social media platforms just because it allows me to get a lot of very, very good content and very easily.
So Twitter has 332 million monthly active users. We have quite a few. They did 2.2 billion in revenue in 2015, which is up 58% year over year.
Well, one of the criticisms Twitter gets is that they're not growing their user base. The 330 million has kind of been stagnant.
One is the product has to be improved, okay? But also have the video. Periscope is huge. Twitter is a broadcasting medium. It's a network. It's the network of the future. And Periscope is going to be that.
I use Periscope and I have thousands of Periscope fans, and I can tell you that when it first started, it was cool. But now when you go onto Periscope, it's just a mess of goofballs videotaping in their house when they're smoking pot.
And I think you just called all the shortcomings of Twitter is really being able to have a better platform that is more user friendly. But you can't really deny the opportunity and the growth if they're able to make the product a little bit friendlier.
It's a big if, and why not suggest a management change, right? I mean, the definition of lunacy is repeating what you're doing.
Because that just happened.
I think we've heard enough on the Twitter, and we'll move on. You have any other thoughts?
No, that's good.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we saw a lot of different groups today. What do you think of the groups?
I think Twitter, we knew it was tough for them to kind of sell us on Twitter, everything that's going on with the company. Yeah, they kind of came
in with a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and they were a little flat too. And I really wanted to hear management change. I think for Twitter to grow, they have to kind of change their vision a little bit, and that comes from the top.
I agree.
And to me, the top two ideas were Match and Snapchat.
Yeah, I agree. And Match especially because of Tinder being their growth driver.
Yeah, I think the Match team, Francine, Nick, and Eric did a great job.
Yeah.
And they knew their numbers, and they believed in what they were saying. The business, however, is a little convoluted, very complicated, 45 plus sites, many moving parts.
And I think 44 of those sites aren't growing too. So I think that comes down to Snapchat. And I think Snapchat is so young that we can't really tell where it's going, but we know they're doing a lot of things right.
Correct.
And at least from what I learned today, it seemed very compelling to me, where before I thought it was kind of a silly toy for kids.
I agree. I think the fact that they got you excited about Snapchat
I think I'm going to download it after
it's
the
definitely
show.
a telling point. I think the group did a great job. I think they knew. It's hard to find numbers for private companies, and they did great research.
Yeah, I think they did too.
I'm excited to see what Snapchat's future is like. I hope they continue to grow.
If they continue to do, if Evan is as smart as Mark Zuckerberg and he's able to continue to pivot and get his business at where it needs to be, I think they're going to take Twitter's lunch is what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, they certainly have the right start going. So I think we've decided on Snapchat being the winner today.
I agree.
All right, good.
Yeah.